How's it going, guys? Back again with Chrono Theoretical Dreamers Edition. Not sure what happened last night. The stream just unexpectedly quit out on me. Tried everything I could to get it back up and running, but wasn't able to, so I figured I'd try it again today, picking up roughly where we left off. Thank you, autosave. Continuing on with our story between Serge and Lena. I definitely enjoy the fact that this game reacts to certain characters being in your party at certain times when you talk to people. It is 100% possible to make it to this point without having decided to recruit Poshul. If that does happen at a certain point, a little bit later on, you will get Poshul anyways without having to have found that Hekron bone. I believe this is roughly about the part where the stream quit out on me last night. So hopefully it doesn't cut out on me again this early. And hopefully leaving the text boxes up here for a little bit is giving everybody a chance to read along. As I said, there's over 40 some odd characters you're able to recruit in this game, and doing individual voices for each of them, I end up mixing a few up every now and then. But thankfully most of these characters have a portrait in their text box, so I'm sure most of you guys can come up with a pretty fitting voice for them, just matching a face to the words. I do believe with this question, it doesn't matter which way you answer, but the next question that she asked you, depending on how you answer, will affect getting a certain element later on in the game. This almost seems like the conversation between Tifa and Cloud in Final Fantasy VII in their flashback sequence, where she wonders if he forgot about the promise he made to her. that. Now when she asks you this, you have to make sure that you say that you will never forget this day. What this does is it allows you... every character has special attacks just for them at element levels 3, 5, and 7. And everyone's level 7, they're called tech skills. Most are just gotten once you hit a certain number of stars by beating bosses. Some characters like Lena, you actually have to perform certain actions and then speak to a character later on and they will give you the element for it. Never a good thing when you're hearing voices. Okay, I know he fell into sand, but smacking your face that hard off it had to hurt. Wondering how often that happens, that dead bodies just wash ashore if he immediately assumes that's what happened to you. Well, at least the dog came with us. And now we're going back off to the village to see what happened to Lena. And looks like all the treasure chests are back. Oh, there isn't one back there. Let's push him out of the way. And another ivory helmet. So we have 3 so far, but only 2 party members. Need to be careful going through here. If you get too close, that Chrono Dragon Pup will do the same thing to you that you did to it. A lot of these attacks look like they should hurt a lot more than they actually end up doing. Upon having beaten that boss. Now we don't have much in the way of new elements right now. Head back to the village. What the rainbow shell is the strongest synthesizing material in the game. You just find it for free here. Except she's not just going to give it to you this time. But we can check the bucket again. Find another photon ray element. And we can see in the background there that Lena is babysitting again on the pier. Oh, I definitely wish this cough would go away. It's always the last thing to go whenever I get sick. This is no longer a restaurant, it's now a flower shop. But you could do the same thing to the pot that you could for the barrel. Speaking to it 4 times. It's almost word for word the exact same interaction as you did with the barrel. But you get a pretty strong element called Ice Lance, which is blue innate, which would have helped against those fish back at Lizard Rock. The chest is still here, you just have to go behind the curtain to get it. There's nothing under the bed this time. So for those of you that watch the VODs afterwards and have never played this game before, that rippling effect and then the wave that crashed over us just transported us to an alternate version of the same world that Surge lived in. And there's a major difference between the two that will actually make itself clear here in just a minute. Does not quite look like Surge's room again. Now we found the magma bomb element, which is an innate red. Calls us a kid and looks like he's not much older than we are. So in this world, this is not Surge's house, and he and his mother Marge do not live here. Well, as we've already raided this man's house, we're just going to leave anyways. inside the bucket here, you find a turn red element, which will add the red innate to your character as well for the remainder of the battle. And over here will be found a cure element. There's now a tablet there. Now we are going to finally speak to Lena and find out why she left us. Because she was at that beach too. Lena has no recollection of who you are right now. I've barely talked to this girl and these kids are already threatening us. Despite the minor differences, the scene almost exactly plays out like it did the first time you spoke to Lena. So that ripple on the beach has transported you to an alternate version where Serge died at about the age of 7, and shortly after his mother passed away as well. Once again, these choices don't really have any effect over anything in the game, just how the character is going to react to you. But you do have Poshul here to back up your claim that you are Surge. I mean, I get that sentiment. She did just tell you the boy died, you say you're him. Yeah, she would think it was a pretty messed up joke. If only she knew. Not sure what's sadder, the fact that they put Surge's gravesite up on Cape Howell without his mother, or the fact that after a certain point people just stopped caring and stopped visiting. So our next step is to go check out Cape Howell. Make sure we have some decent elements allocated. Not too different through here right now. There's a second treasure chest up here. But what we're more interested in is the rock here at the tip of the point. The one where we had originally carved our undying love for Lena. And it's now clearly stated to be a tombstone. Now, I've never 100% beaten this game, So I'm not sure what the line, what came from the sea has returned to the sea means. I do know return to the sea is a reference to the fact that he did drown, but I'm not sure what it means by what came from the sea. But there's validation of Lena's claims that in this world, Surge technically does not exist. And they kicked the damn dog. Now don't let the long flowing silver hair fool you. This man is 27. And apparently Karsh here is keen on playing the pronoun game. Instead of just outright saying who, he's just going to be referred to as he. And backup has arrived. The two men flanking both sides of Karsh are the most delightfully incompetent bosses you will ever face. They are definitely put in here merely for comic effect. Definitely more of a fan of the boss music over the random battle music. And that right there has got to be kids, I guess you would say, catchphrase. It's not the first, it's not the last time you're going to end up seeing that in this game. So we have Karsh, we have Salt, and we have Pepper. Like I said, I love the naming conventions in this game. And here's where you get to learn more about what innates and weaknesses are. But relying on these guys was your first mistake. I say these two are the height of incompetence. It's actually a shame that you're not able to recruit either one of those two. And that's Karsh's reason for why he's not attacking with the correct innate color. In this battle, definitely attempt to go after Karsh first. He hits a lot harder than the other two do. Now I do see why they kicked the dog off the ledge. Bushel being an innate yellow would have done a lot more damage to Karsh. Alright, these two are not that hard to take down now that you've beaten Karsh. Alright, now that I'm out of attacking elements, that's the second boss fight down. And you get a vast amount of pretty decent items. At least pretty decent to start, until we can start synthesizing stronger things. Confidence is always key. Once again, keeping everybody at default, so her name is Kid. But the fact that she puts it in quotes like that makes it seem like it's just a nickname and she's not completely telling you the truth. Now here's an important decision to make. If you accept Kid's offer, then Lena will never join your party the entire game. But if you deny her 3 times, you can gain Lena in your party and you can eventually recruit Kid a little bit later on in the game. So I think I'm going to go down that route for this playthrough. Especially as we've already hit the trigger to get Lena's level 7 tech skill by answering her question on the beach. Of course, she's going to get very indignant that you have denied her. And just a reminder, most of these main characters are teenagers. And now that we've denied her 3 times, we can now get Serge's would-be girlfriend in our party. The only sidestep is that it's this world's version of Lena, the one that believes his Serge died 10 years ago. Oh look, Poshel managed to survive the fall. How fortunate for us. And the next morning you find out that you were able to stay in what would have been Serge's room. If you tried to stay here before this, the owner actually charges you 100 gold for the night. I don't think you get charged anything for this being story related. Yes, that's perfect explanation. Brain damage. But at least she's kind enough to take pity to join us. And now we have a new party member. Lena is definitely an interesting party member for battles. Everyone has their own preferred weapon they use, and Lena's is cooking utensils. She's by no means the only one, but she is the first one you get that will start smacking people with spoons. But you more want Lena because she's a very strong element user. Her magic skills. And since she is a blue innate, she actually can make use out of all the cures and that Ice Lance element that you receive from the quote-unquote pot. Now that Lena's in the party, we're not quite done in the village. We have one more party member we can get. We're going to come over here to this building, where down in the basement was the man that had done all the fishing, having become a fisherman 10 years ago. Now he's not a fisherman. And he has just finished praying to Mojo, what he calls a good luck charm from the Far East. He's never explained what the Far East is in relation to Arnie Village in this world, but he comes from the Far East. And apparently he is a messenger of love and courage. Almost sounds like a cult. What you have to do is you actually had to have waited until either Lena or Kid was in your party, come to see him and show him the shark tooth that his other self gave you. That tells you that the lion shark that he made that tooth necklace out of was at least 15 feet, and this man pulled it in by himself. This was the same man that when you first spoke to him mentioned how his life would have been different had he not become a fisherman 10 years ago. Looks as though he would have gone a little loopy with the religion. But having showed him this now, as you go to leave, your next party member appears. Always worried me that Mojo is a character made out of straw and rope, and yet they have burning candles attached to his head. Almost makes you wonder how long he was planning on standing there like an inanimate object before he decided to move and do all of this. Since your party can only have 3 members, as much as I'm not a fan of Poshel, I will hold off and keep him in the party as Mojo is an innate black. And Tremina is to the north, which means we'll have to head through Fossil Valley. But I'm going to save and end the stream for right now. Alright, looks as though I'm going to hang out a little bit longer. Alright, well, we are progressing through Fossil Valley, starting from the south, heading north. Now, they're telling us not to interfere with work on the high ground. Starting to think maybe we should interfere with their work on the high ground. I do also love that I spoke to this guy over here, but it's this one over here that spoke to me. Maybe his friend is a silent protagonist. I should allocate some elements to everybody just to make sure everybody's peak strength. Alright, I think I'm going to remove one from Surge and give it to Lena. She has nothing in level 2. Alright, we should be good to work our way through. And heading over here, we find the idiot twins again. What are the odds? He wants a rematch, and here we are. Always happy to oblige. I do love those little mix-ups. What was he wearing? Oh, something like that guy there. Wait, that's him, isn't it? And if their names weren't a dead giveaway, the fact that they used the word shake for almost every verb. It's a little on the nose about their names. Well, we may actually be in trouble now. He remembered that Surge's innate is white, so he did bring a black element with him. Okay, well, it wasn't a black attacking element. He's just changed Surge's innate to white and black. Which, to be fair, is, he says, does make us more susceptible to white attack elements. I mean, to be fair, they're both pretty low on the intelligence totem pole here. But it's a pretty good teaching method. Be the exact opposite of these two. maybe targeting Lena first. Miss Pepper just upgraded his attack, while Salt just went and lowered her defense. And now how fitting. We have Salt and Pepper and Lena who attacks with a spoon. And most of hers are healing based. Probably should have thought ahead and given her Ice Lance. Well, it's a good thing she has healing, because that just hurt pretty bad. Alright, one down, just gotta get rid of Pepper now. And the third boss fight down. Yes, that technically counted as a boss fight. And reaching 3 stars, everybody receives their first tech skill at level 3. This way she has some way to attack, aside from her tech skill. Alright. Well, now that we've beaten them, let's go mess with the guys up top. Yes. We are absolutely exorcists. We just look like it. Especially the fluffy pink and purple dog. Alright, up we go. This reminds me of the constant running joke in Phineas and Ferb. Aren't you a little young to be doing this? Yes. Yes, I am. Our job is to stop that howling, moaning noise. Well, we have a sentient bouncing skull who's missing the rest of his body. We'll take him along. Once we find the rest of his body, we will have a brand new party member. Did I warn you guys in the last one that these characters get a little weird? Before we leave, there is a small ladder that we should be going down, but we're going to do it anyways. And we're going to try to snatch this egg and get out before that bird comes. That is a fight we cannot win at this point. And then we are heading up here to pick these. These are bellflowers. Both this egg and the bellflower, along with the heavy skull we just got, are all necessary to get characters later on. Then we can head back to where we fought Salt and Pepper and exit out through that cave there, and we will be on our way to Termina. And that bird is still pissed that we took its egg. I do love how an area this big is only considered a town. And they already have given us the reason for why we need the bellflowers. Trust me, these characters are only going to get weirder as we go on. If you think a lisping purple and pink dog, a skull, and a voodoo doll are weird, just wait. We know how Karsh is doing. Well, now we know who the he is that asked Karsh to come and find us and bring us in. It was a man by the name of Lord Viper. Here is the inn, across from the florist. Oh, and look who else is here. I do believe Kate is putting 2 and 2 together as to why we denied her help at the beginning. Once again, with all the flirty innuendos. Must reiterate, they are teenagers. See, in the first video I did, her speaking mannerisms seem more British, UK area. Calling Lena Sheila definitely pushes it more towards Australian. So, as I said, I'm still up in the air as to exactly what kind of mannerisms Kid has. And as this is Alina from a completely different world, basically it's a friend zone kind of thing. This one is not the tender, loving girlfriend of Surge that the original Lena is. Still thinks she's holding a grudge. First things first, we're going to stop into the shop here. They sell elements here. Apparently they know Lena here, which means that Lena's made that trip through Fossil Valley. Wow, she did not just friendzone Surge, she just made him family. He has no shot with his Lena. Not anymore, anyways. And as your mother said in the very first video, women are scary if you don't do what they want. So, we're going along with her. Just like that, you get a rebound 8. And if we had chosen to take Mojo with us instead of Lena, this scene would not play out like this. So I say I love the fact that this game accommodates for any possible party situation you have set up. Certain conversations will happen, certain ones won't. Definitely need a couple more blue, maybe a couple green elements as well. Grab a few of each of the status healing items just in case. And we're going to leave here. It's funny that she says this. I let my daughter look through my guidebook for this game, and she saw the character portrait for Nikki, the singer she's talking about here, and she swore it looked like a girl. The thing is, the way Nikki is dressed in this game, they would never let a female character get away with wearing just that. We're going to go over here into the marketplace area. First, we're going to go back here. I'm going to head to this upper area. And we have found a Lord Viper stand. You can tell when speaking to someone has a bearing on the plot as the music starts getting really low. Seems like a very, very conceited man to name a festival after himself. This man lives in a very opulent manner. You always have to love when a character says something is an impenetrable fortress, because you know at some point your character is going to prove that wrong. And Kid has returned again. And now Kid will want to join again. There is no reason anymore to not allow her to join now. Yeah, so such an obvious choice. I denied you 3 times just not even 20 minutes ago. And now we're being given the teleporter, which will allow us to swap party members. Usually we have to wait until we're at one of those green Record of Fate crystals, or we can do it at any time on the actual world map itself. Once again, I'm going to keep this party the same way it is for right now. We're coming up to a choice here as to who we're going to allow to help us infiltrate the manor. Over here, just out of sight. And yes, they're totally not a hoodlum hiding out somewhere. It's just way too hot standing in the sun. Just why this little kid has been standing here playing hopscotch the entire time we've been talking. There's not once collapsed from heat exhaustion. And we have received a new text box frame. Which, now that I have discussed last video what we're doing, I'm going to change it. Alright, now our goal is to find someone who will help us break into the manor. This is a small hint to help us with the, I guess you could call it recruitment of another character. She's been waiting for her grandson to come back. Just plump and cheerful and always enjoyed making people laugh. Joining the circus and becoming a clown sounds almost like the heavy skull that we found. I mean, we don't want to have to break the news to her. So yes, once we gather up all the parts to go with the heavy skull, we bring them to her, and she will assemble our party member. And this person claims to have a live mermaid in that small little container. Those that remember from the first video, working through the tower in the dream, our third character was a mermaid. So, kind of a spoiler that we will at some point be allowed to recruit this mermaid into our group. And his mannerism is adding cha to certain words. It appears as though this kid has a reputation here. So Korcha here is actually trying to show that this person is nothing more than a snake oil salesman. Surprised that did not put a hole in his boat when he landed. Looks like we have yet another town that we can go and visit at some point, where Korcha is from. But he also has a boat, which means there's a good chance he can help us get into the manor. Here's the town's blacksmith. Back room back here is one of our possible guides to get into the manor. Very effeminate man. His name is Pierre. In order to choose him to be our guide, we will have to find his hero medal. But we also have two other choices to help us get into the manor. Our second choice is fittingly enough here at the bar. And we're talking to this gentleman here. His name is Guile. I'm very sure this is not what the Street Fighter character did after he was done fighting everybody. We agree to help him out. He will win a bet. We will gain a new party member. And yes, Guile is a former magician. So all we need to get him to join is to find someone with a boat. Which, as we've seen, Korcha has a boat. So we could always ask Guile to join us. But we shall meet our third choice, and I will put it up to the chat. as to which one we take. Okay, wrong dressing room. Well, maybe so. So he's the hype man for the band here. Now we're looking for Nikki, the one everybody swears is a woman but is a man. Mickey is one of the dancers, backup dancers for the band. Alright, so we have a choice to make now. Do we want to help Nikki and gain Nikki as our guide to the manor? Do we want to get Portia to help us with his boat and have Guile guide us to the manor? Or do we want to attempt to find the hero medal and get Pierre the would-be hero to take us to the manor? We have all three of them set up. All we need to do is decide which path we want to take. Alright, sounds good. So we are going to take Guile's path, which means we need to go into the bar. Alright, now that I've added him, I'm going to cut the stream off right now. I will save, and then we'll pick this up another day. Other than heading out, I definitely want to thank my viewers and definitely Saddlebred Girl for joining in on the chat.